Welcome, guys, to another game of one of the best, Netrunner. We're going to walk you through it, talk you through it, and have a good time. My name's Steven.
I'm Robert.
And we are here with the second round. This is the second match, and it's the first game. So we've been through the top four here. We saw Grant versus Travis last match, and this match is the other two in the top four, Tim versus Drayton. And we're going to dive right into here. Tim playing Personal Evolution, Jinteki versus Drayton's Andromeda. So we can expect a heater here. Let's see if Jinteki can actually do this yet again. There are some doubters out there.
There are plenty of doubters.
Which is fine. I think that's acceptable and probably expected.
You have to begin with doubt.
Tim's in at 13 credits. Like he opened with 2 hedge funds and a piece of ice. That's just my guess.
That's correct.
I can only imagine that's how you do that.
I saw it happen.
We have a sure gamble over here on Drayton's side, and this is a classic opening. So if you're noticing these kinds of things, you don't have these cards in your decks, maybe you should reconsider. Compromised Employee, Drayton.
Armitage.
Also going to Armitage, which is actually not as seen out of Criminal these days.
Ooh, the katana comes out.
Last action, Forge activation, makes Tim res that Neural Katana, which is the last thing you want from a Neural Katana. You want that thing to be face checked, and you want them to lose 3 cards.
Surprise! Yeah.
It didn't happen. Looks like Tim going to gain a credit and install 2 pieces of ice.
I bet they're also neural katanas.
Oh, let's hope so.
Because once you get into swords, you don't stop getting into swords.
You just don't stop. And Drayton installing a parasite. Man, these guys are these guys using? We don't see any click trackers here, do we?
No, we don't.
Oh no, there's Drayton's got him.
Oh yeah,
him.
Gonna have to freestyle it.
So that's gonna help us. So Drayton installing that parasite on a neural katana. 3 turns, it'll be gone. You don't have to worry about going to grab that breaker.
That's right.
Not a bad idea.
See ya.
You know, we haven't seen parasites at a Criminal all this tournament, actually.
I mean, when you're Criminal, you don't really need to splash at all. I mean, that influence generally just sits there because their cards are so good within their faction. I'm just kidding.
Drayton gets 2 off Armitage and draws a card. Tim installing a remote server there. He's gaining a couple credits. And then it goes back over to Drayton.
That's right.
Get a parasite token on that neural katana.
That's right. You'd think a parasite would be pretty easy for somebody like Jinteki to deal with.
Yeah.
It's just like,
you'd think. Drayton's actually a fantastic story. He was at the store and then actually moved away and came back for this regional just to play in it. So he hadn't played Netrunner in a long time. He was really good whenever he was playing actively. There's this Crypsis. That's going to be the standard. What do you expect from Criminal? But he hadn't played in a long time, and so I think those decks kind of reflect when he left the meta. You know, Parasites were still a big deal. Armitage was still pretty standard.
Yep.
And it got him all the way to the top 4, and we'll see if he can actually use that to go all the way.
There's a reason you can stick with the classics sometimes.
Absolutely. Tim installing another piece of ice up top there and getting an advancement counter, which is very nice. Always scary on Jinteki. It could be good, it could be bad. Is it a Brain Trust down there? Is it a Fetal? Is it just a June Bug? You never know.
An old Junie. So
going back over, we got Drayton on the running end here. Got good economy here. Got Armitage going. Got a Compromised Employee for those ice reses. Looks like he's about to take out that Neural Katana on R&D. That's going to be nice for him. He's got a Crypsis with a token on it. All he needs now really is just to hit some serious money, maybe work for Armitage for a while.
Needs to find his cash machine.
Get it going. Drawing 2 cards off the top of the turn there. Looking at options here. And this is a fast-moving Jinteki board that Tim has set up. Already we have 5 unknowns on the board. Drayton's going to run there. He's just going to pay 1 to break that with Crypsis. Going to access a single card. Ice Wall. Ice Wall. Nice splash, Tim.
Sometimes you just got to end the run.
You just got to end the run sometimes. Last action, putting a token back on Crypsis. Still advanced 3 times out of Tim, and he's going to score the Corporate War. That's a big deal for Jinteki there.
That's a lot of money.
So he's going to gain 7, and that's a huge score for Tim there. That's the economy game 101.
Yep.
Corporate War, a huge agenda that just came out. Those 4-pointers are interesting.
Yes.
I think Jinteki runs them exceptionally well, as Tim kind of demonstrated here.
Is it an agenda or is it a trap?
Yep.
Those high pointers really allow for a lot of wiggle room and doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. Corporate War. Jinteki's starting it. You know they are.
Mm-hmm. And now sitting pretty with a lot of credits, so he's in a good position. It's really not good to see criminal
Wide
this
open
low.
R&D, yeah.
Yeah. Is he?
Brain trust, there you go.
Got it.
Whew, door to R&D is wide open. Tim activating his agenda, or his identity there. So Drayton's going to do it again.
Do it again.
And
Nothing.
that is the common curse of R&D. It seems like when agendas get clumped, they really get clumped. So
Yeah,
if you find one, it's time to keep looking, you know?
Shuffle well and often.
Last action, Drayton getting some credits here.
Ooh.
Tim going to install remote server, install what I'm assuming is an ice wall, and gain a credit. Or, I'm sorry, advance that ice wall. So back over to Drayton. Install remote, install ice, advance ice. That'd be great if it was a fake ice wall. It was just like a Hadrian's. Oh, I'll run there. Oh,
it's huge. Whoops.
run ended. First action draw. Looks like Drayton's digging for economy here.
Yeah, Armitage alone is kind of mediocre.
Perfect time for a bank job. Perfect time for a bank job.
It is.
I'd even be willing to wager that you can get away with an account siphon if you
Oh, yeah.
clicked a few Armitages and went.
Checking that ice. What is it?
What is it? I forgot. One card in hand. Is it an agenda or not? I don't know. I doubt that's an agenda. I think it would have been installed on that remote. It looks a bit safer actually right now
Yeah.
than that HQ.
I want to know what that other card is on that first remote, though. Behind 2 pieces of ice.
Yeah. I'm gonna guess a Hokusai.
Yeah.
I think Tim likes that. It's certainly a boon to Jinteki these days. Could be a Ronin over in that far remote. If Drayton doesn't check it, that could be an issue. I doubt that Tim would play it like that, though.
Yeah,
You
I'd
usually
agree. It's nice.
usually want to advance those pretty square off. Make him think it's a trap.
Agreed. Uh-oh. Spending some money.
All right, paying 2 for satellite uplink. Pad campaign. And a pop-up. Ooh, now he knows. HQ is wide open.
Going for it.
It's going to give Tim some more money, though.
One of the few exposed cards someone's played on me today.
It's funny. I mean, Drayton, I love how you can play a deck that a lot of people wouldn't play and do well.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, Drayton's running old school stuff. He's exposing things. He's running parasites. He's got Armitage in here.
Yeah, man.
A lot of the modern criminal decks would scoff at this, but it seemed to do the trick, you know?
Fundamentals.
It's actually really good. Seeing cards right now, exposing cards, is actually really solid. Especially in this matchup against Jinteki. That's the #1 thing you want.
Trap heavy Jinteki. Got to figure them out.
Now, what went down there, I wonder? Could be an Issei. That's my biggest fear.
But just imagine if Drayton here didn't have to waste his time doing the relatively inefficient code-busting slog.
Yep.
And he could just call up Katie Jones and say, hey,
Yeah.
give me some money.
Or imagine if he tagged Gabe in here.
That's
It's
right.
like, you get 1, I lose 1, and then I get 2. And I get to see cards.
Corroder. It's out.
Yeah, I put a Corroder out, got the special order, and then went ahead and played the Corroder from hand. I'm assuming. I don't think he's paid for it yet, or he hasn't picked it up into his hand yet. Still shuffling the deck. One of my least favorite things about searching for cards. I gotta shuffle.
But it's one of the most powerful effects.
It is, truly.
What do I need right now? Go get it.
I've run an emergency shutdown.
Cut it. Tap.
All right, and
Hadrian's 2.
gaining 2.
Doing the code-busting. See ya, Armitage. Maybe.
Yeah, it'll get discarded. Should get discarded in a second. And he
Alright.
scores another brain trust.
Nice.
Or not another, but a
first.
brain trust.
Yes.
Takes the inside job. That's a big swing for Jinteki there.
It is indeed.
That's a big thing.
It's a potent criminal card right there.
Tim, a wild 4 points already. All he has is Ice Wall and pop-up window over HQ, and I mean, this is one instance where the old criminal is paling to the new, Because by now, I think most criminal decks would have at least one R&D interface.
Yeah.
And it would be a disaster over there.
Mr. Lee, the always enigmatic.
Mr. Lee drawing 2.
Sometimes. Is this one of those times?
And I think he just
It's
got a sure gamble, yeah.
Yep.
Not going to do much good for him yet.
He needs to get some money before
Right,
it'll work.
he may be looking at a next turn credit, sure gamble, which
Not the best turn,
it's
but
really never what you want.
yeah. But sometimes it's what you gotta do. You gotta get back up on that credit train.
Yeah.
Whoa, look at that ice wall.
At a certain point, I mean, see, this kind of ice wall against criminal is generally not as good as it is against. Yeah, so here we go.
There it is.
Credit, sure gamble.
It was full scene.
I mean, I don't know if I'd pump that ice wall, man. Tim knows what he's doing. Don't get me wrong. One inside job away. And did he lay out another? No.
Whoa, look at
He's
all
just
that.
advancing the ice wall, yeah.
Just pump it. Pump
Interesting
it.
to see this when you don't have commercialization.
Yeah, right?
To capitalize later, but Tim really, he doesn't have anything better to do, to be honest. He's got one card in hand. If he doesn't
Yeah.
want to install it or use it, he's got 2 now, looks like. Then why not?
Yeah. And I'm sure he's feeling the danger Will Robinson alert.
Yeah,
with,
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
only having
like,
one piece of ice there. It's
Here
like,
comes a Maker's Eye and R&D interface, and
Yep.
all of a sudden you could have issues. Now, the interesting thing about that against Jinteki is they have a natural kind of defense for that kind of play, because you hit 2 snares,
You're done.
or you hit, a snare and a fetal. There's a lot of issues with accessing multiple cards out of Jinteki. So it really is a slow game. You've got to play them so much differently than all the others.
Yeah.
So much differently.
You're right.
All these corps have such different ways that you have to play against them. HB, you've got to have actions open in case you hit some OMG ice. For me, at least, I like to run early in the turn on HB.
But what if you want to draw cards?
Yeah, well,
I never.
you just reverse orders.
Yeah, right. Compromised.
Compromise coming in.
Another.
Got some more long-term economy solutions. and
Armitage.
There's Armitage for the short term.
Because sometimes that's the only work you can find.
And making it even harder for Crypsis to get in on that R&D server.
Yep.
And gaining 2 credits.
Dang. That's going to be a bad Mamma Jamma ice wall if it
Yeah.
ever gets rezzed.
Yeah. And this is really a strategy, and Drayton has allowed Tim to build here because there's really no pressure going on his ice. So his servers, he can really take his time and develop them. I mean, this is exactly what you don't want when you're running Crypsis as your primary breaker.
Yeah.
Is
A bunch of
different. And now Drayton showed us it doesn't really matter because he's running efficient Gordian, efficient Corroder, and then Crypsis for sentries. So makes perfect sense.
There you go.
And Tim precogs again. What a strong card.
It is.
What a strong card.
Love it. I was running it out of HB for a time.
Yeah. That harkens back to the last match with Grant.
Yeah,
hitting
it
an
does.
Awful beta test.
Precog your beta test.
Precog beta test, please. And, really just precogging allows Tim to control the entire flow of this game. It controls
does.
cards in R&D, it controls cards in HQ, and then obviously cards on the board. Because they come from those places. That's the order. That's the cycle. So he's really in control of this thing. He can get the agenda only when he
Whoa.
wants to. Interesting to install ice after you've precogged and you know what they can access.
What a deterrent, though.
Yeah. It's awful.
He might just be bluffing. Maybe he stacked the top with all these agendas. He wants to get them in his hand quick, start scoring them, get the game over.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. Does this R&D ice signal I've got a lot of agendas and I wanted to protect, like I know they're there and I want to protect, or is it, hey, there's a snare up there and I want you to waste all your money and hit nothing?
Who knows? Not me, man.
It's one of those weird things where Drayton doesn't really have enough money to get there. So if you're setting a trap, it probably won't work because he just literally can't get there. And that's one thing that I struggle with
I don't have the money for it.
when I'm setting my traps. It's like if you make it look too easy, then they know it's a trap.
Yeah.
But if it's too hard, then they'll just never go there. So it's a delicate balance. Going to HQ, pop-up window.
Got to run the middle ray. Let's see. Extra credit for Tim.
Looks like Drayton went right in and paid for the pop window, but he did not get 2 credits for compromised employee here. I did not see him grab those 2 credits.
Yeah, I didn't either. That
which is a huge
problem.
problem.
Especially when he's relying on Armitage right now.
Yeah, he needed those 2 credits.
2 free credits would have been sweet.
That's a pretty big player mistake.
These things happen.
Yeah, and remember how we said Drayton hadn't played in a while?
That's right.
That's kind of a testament to his skill that he's not 100% sharp just because he's a little rusty, but he still was able to get here. Who cares about that pop-up window?
Tim.
He does love chum into pop-up windows, I'll say that.
Yes, he does.
He was probably looking for that off the top. Special order.
There it is, Ninja.
Wow, talk about how old school this deck is.
Yeah,
we haven't seen a Ninja in the league for
you really don't
thousands
see ninjas
of years.
at all. Just at all.
Well, what's Crypsis doing now?
I don't know.
Breaking traps?
Yeah.
Breaking traps, I guess.
Man.
And the interesting thing about Ninja and Crypsis is pretty much every sentry costs the same amount with Crypsis as it does with Ninja.
Yeah.
So that's why most people ended up dropping Ninja out of their decks, because really you're not saving any economy. You might get a little bit of time out of it because you don't have to pump Crypsis with those tokens, but altogether Crypsis does a lot more for you. And
it's more universally reliable.
Yeah, and you don't need those slots for Ninja because he can really break sentries just as good. Archer's the same cost.
Mm-hmm. You're right, Kent. Spend some money. There it is.
Install the Ninja. So we have it's a formidable rig. We just don't have the money to back it.
Yeah, that's right.
This is what I would expect out of a Shaper right here.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they would at least have Magnum Opus happen.
And run an R&D, knowing full well that can't really get past that ice wall.
Yeah, with only 6 credits.
He can get there, but all it takes is one piece of ice that costs him a few.
There it is, Katana.
There he goes. Now he's going to gain 2 for his compromise. Mineral Katana.
He remembered. So here it comes. Spend some money. Breaky break.
Break, 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 break.
But now...
And he gains 2 for that ice wall, so that those compromised employees paid off super big. And that run's going to end.
It's over. Drawn a card. Wish I could have seen what it was.
7 strength ice wall. Now, I think he could have gotten through there with 6 credits. Corroder. It wouldn't have cost him all 6. It would have cost him 5, I think. So I just think he didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I just think he wanted the money. He wanted to get that ice out. He didn't care about R&D.
Uh-oh. It's being advanced.
All right, Tim advancing a card over there.
Got to watch out. So now the question is, does Drayton feel he has enough money to make it down that server and enough cards to absorb all the potential net damage that he's going to be taking?
Yeah, and the thing is, if that's a fetal, which I think we saw with the precog, if that's a fetal, he's got to have 2 when he gets down there to steal it anyway.
Yep.
And that is the ultimate. Fetal really kicked Jinteki up to a 9.
Ah, we've seen that.
Same wall of static. That's not what you want.
Third action. Shut it down.
Shut down the Katana. All right, that's 4. It's not the biggest shutdown we've seen, but it's okay.
But yeah, it's reasonable. You don't want to do it on the ice wall, that's for sure.
Yeah. I don't know, that free remote that Tim has is just allowing him to pump stuff out.
Yep. Old pad campaign is serving Tim pretty well here as well.
Yeah, serving him, I mean, if you don't get rid of it, this is what happens. But Drayton never really had the surplus of cash.
It's true.
To have the luxury to do that.
Yeah. Uh-oh. What do we got? Boom, fetal.
It is a fetal, so I'm glad he didn't run. That would have been a disaster.
Yeah, and that's kind of punitive on the part of the Jinteki player to try to actually score that as an agenda, because it's pretty expensive for 2 points.
Yeah, it's a great agenda. What a great design on that thing.
Yep.
It's just good for Jinteki no matter what happens. If it's access, that's fine. If you score it, that's 2 points. It's okay. And Drayton really making use of Mr. Lee here.
Yeah, that's true.
Newest criminal contact.
And he's got 3 compromise now. Completes the set.
You gonna gain 2 credits in that turn.
And he just dropped an action.
Looks like Tim just drew into a snare there. That's something to pay attention to. Used to be that everyone just held those things in their hands.
Whoa.
Gonna trash 2 pieces of ice there and install a new one. So we're gonna think that that's a good one. Could be that wall of static we've been looking at
Yeah.
for so long.
Wouldn't that be funny?
That would be funny. I don't think that's what's
Yeah.
happening, but that would be interesting.
I'd be surprised.
Not a single run on that remote. Scary. That's the thing about Jinteki. It's scary, but it's probably like a pop-up window and like
Well, you just
maybe
essentially
an ice wall.
have to decide at a certain point. It's like, where am I willing to be hurt? And how much am I going to be hurt?
Yeah.
You just have to know their cards very well. It's like, what is he capable of here?
Yeah. It's stressful.
Yep.
And Mr. Lean again, man, we are doing some serious digging considering the entire rig is out.
Yep.
3 compromised employees. A lot of people couldn't ask for more.
Maybe just a Katie or something.
Man, a Katie would be nice.
Katie Jones.
Even a console or something. Desperado would be very nice here.
Oh, man. Forget about it.
Desperado would make HQ just the new hotspot.
It's true.
And we play another Armitage there. All right.
Busting some codes.
Yeah, make it happen.
That's the kind of thing I would imagine you, like, have your day job. And then
Mr.
you go
Lee
home,
once again.
And that's what you do, like, before you go to bed. It's like, I'm going to just do a few hours code busting.
Yeah, just do a little Armitage, put in some overtime. Then I can go out to the bar on Saturday and not worry about the money.
That's right.
Go down to Wildside. Tim installing, paying 2. And gaining 2 credits. So really, he's really just trying not to get the stupid loss here.
Yeah, it's for sure.
Where you just get agenda after agenda off R&D.
Let me just go ahead and upgrade all my ice on R&D here.
I think this is where most players are playing now, even post-regional. Drayton going to gain 2 and 2 off Armitage twice, so going to inside job R&D. Hard to spend all those resources on R&D for one single card.
It is.
We really need more, and I was noticing this in my decks the other day. Really need more oomph in these runs. Whether that's Doppelganger increasing efficiency or R&D interface increasing odds.
Ooh, chum. Foreboding, to say the least.
Yeah. I mean, you go for it at this point. It's just an extra couple credits.
Oh.
Chum toll
It's
booth.
the toll booth.
It's about the worst you could.
Yep. That's going to be an expensive run now. Must pay 3?
Yeah, and there's no way I'll get through that ice wall.
Yep.
He just lets it end.
Yep.
If he does that, he'll take the chum, though. Which it looks like he's going to do, yeah.
Ouch.
Or he's not.
Uh-oh. Is he going?
He just went back over to hand.
Ronin.
I'm interested in what just happened there, be honest with you.
Yeah, not exactly sure.
I feel like that chum should have triggered. Because there's no way he spent credits to break that big toll booth.
That big old toll booth.
Could have just been a, Forgot.
Yep.
Can't forget. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, of course, the inside job.
Oh, duh. Duh. Well done on remembering the obvious.
Hey, man, memory is an important tool. 3 credits for Tim, he says. Or 2. 2 or 3. Whatever
8
you
on
want.
8 credits. It's evened out.
4 cards in Tim's hand.
But man, this effectively says, no sir, you cannot run on R&D anymore.
Yeah, you really can't.
Already ran on my hand, so I'll just leave it there.
It's just way too expensive for one card, like you were saying. If you had an interface out, it might be worth it. But this is an old school deck.
I was like, where'd that go?
He hasn't upgraded to the latest version.
Oh,
Maybe that's it.
What we just saw, by the way,
Got a
Tim.
patch.
If anyone's wondering, Tim accidentally picked up the upgrade he'd put down on HQ into his hand.
Whoops.
And they both agreed that it was essentially just a wasted action, so no harm, no foul. I can't tell you how many times I've done that as well. You put that thing right in front of your hand, and then you set your hand down,
Oh, there's my hand.
and it's like, oh man.
Boom. Ah.
Interesting thing there, like, so that Hokusai grid I'm imagining is what was installed on HQ.
Yeah, I think he actually just said as
So it
much.
goes to hand,
Yeah.
and then it gets pulled. So odds of HQ being vulnerable go down because that Hokusai goes into hand. So
Yep.
that could actually have a bigger effect on the game than maybe both Tim and Drayton were willing to admit at that point. But it's kind of like
There's Katie.
There's Katie.
Finally.
It's kind of one of those what do you do moments, you know? You're not going to get DQ'd for that.
Yeah, you
Like,
just got to roll with it most
you
times.
just got to roll. I think I would have pushed for it to get discarded.
You're an aggressive player.
Well, yeah.
Katie,
Pumping Katie.
keep working.
Call her up. Wouldn't that be awesome if that's really how a broker worked? It's like,
Yes.
hey, I'm going to give you a little bit of time, and you're going to make me a ton of money.
Yep.
Whenever I want to, I can just cash out.
Yep.
Where are the taxes? No capital gains in the Netrunner universe.
I would imagine things had gotten either really hard to trace or really easy to trace. I don't think it would have maintained status quo.
One of them, yeah. Tim installing
Ooh,
over the remote.
More. Nice.
Just controlling the flow. I wish Drayton would play like a magnum opus or something.
Yeah.
That's what he needs right
I mean,
now.
at least he got the Katie out. That's going to be
Yeah.
a big help. But that's several turns away before it really starts being worth the cash out. But, got a feeder.
All right, Drayton running HQ.
Doing a
Another
chop.
pop-up
Woo!
window. Man, he forgot the compromised employees again.
That is a huge mistake.
Oh, Drayton, I am hurting
So that's at
for
least
you right now.
5 credits now. And I don't even know if he got him when the chum was rezzed. Come to think of it, or that toll booth.
Yeah.
Because at that point, I mean, that's 6 credits.
I think I remember. I've been trying to watch, and I don't think I said anything, so I think it was okay.
You think he got it?
I
Okay.
think he got it. But he's missed 2 now for sure
Yeah.
on the HQ runs.
It's a big deal.
I noticed Drayton there putting Mr. Lee back on top of the deck instead of the bottom,
Hopefully they'll catch
which,
that.
yeah, I think,
I think I remember them catching that.
yeah.
So that should be discard as well.
So let's look at what happened. Yeah, it was caught there.
It's going to work so well against.
So we got pushed to the bottom, like so. So
Boom.
all corrected.
Ready to play.
See the old Dennis Harlian trick there.
That's right. Where does this go? Oh, wherever I want. Just kidding, Dennis.
No, that was my action last turn. Yes. Was it?
Man, but that's scary having that little of deck left.
Yeah.
Especially against Jinteki. That is
I mean, at this point, I don't know how.
dangerous.
All Tim needs to do is score another point.
Yep.
Inside it.
Boom.
Uplink.
Oh, he wants to see both.
I like that you're pointing with the card too. That's very nice.
Yeah. Whoa.
Oh, discovered. And the top piece of ice, Eli. All right,
Eli is great.
Eli and snare. So we're not gonna run there.
Was that 2 satellite up you played?
How about satellite uplink, huh? Tim making sure that there's been 2 played, so he knows that there's potentially a third. Not that
That's
that
right.
really affects your plans, Jinteki.
Oh, man. Tim is just racking in the dough now.
All right.
Wall of
We've
static
seen-
again.
Drayton, we've seen that wall of static maybe 1,000 times now.
Shut it down.
Shut down the toll booth. See, criminal still has tools, you know.
Yep. Even at the 11th hour. Okay. See ya, snare. See ya, something else.
Installing over the snare.
Man.
And paying 3 to put one up on the remote.
That is a juicy remote. And he probably has enough money to res everything.
And the question is, did you put a new snare down?
I'm hoping so.
That's-
because that's one of my favorite things to do. Replace the same trap for the same trap.
At the same time, with this server, there's no way that Drayton can get in it. Like, he would have to play, gosh, what would he have to do? A bank job, get 8 credits, and then stim hack to even have a chance to get down that server. And then he maybe gets 2 points out of it.
Yeah. So he cashed in on Katie here, getting
I think
9
Tim's
credits.
got an agenda down there, and I think he's going to score it up.
Yeah, I would agree. At least Drayton has some money to work with now. It's a relief.
Yeah. Got all that from Katie. She's so good.
That's right. Working hard for the money. So he has an inside job in hand, special order,
He's got to try here.
and a Cripsy.
He's got to try. He's got an inside job, that remote or something.
But man, 4 pieces of ice.
Yeah, he just put the 2 aside for the inside job. So I think that's what he's planning on.
Here it comes.
R&D, no.
Ah.
That's the last action, too. Gain 3 for compromised. Lose 3 for toll booth. And then broke. Got to pay 6 to get through that ice wall. Broken. And it is a fetal. Does he have 2?
There's the card, but now he's empty. Oh, so dangerous.
You can. End the game here.
Yeah, that's the issue. If he scores this agenda right here, he
He's
gets
done.
flatlined.
Yep.
So he can't score it.
Ouch.
Unless he just wants the points for the next round, for the next game.
Ah,
I think you score it here. You got to take those points.
he's doing it. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, wise
Smart
move.
decision,
Wise
yeah.
move. Yeah. All right, so there you go.
Ooh.
Sometimes you got to play for the match here, guys.
That was a very tactical play there.
Rather than the game. That was calculated, very interesting play. If you like what we're doing here, go ahead and subscribe. We would love to have you subscribe to our channel. It's kind of like saying, hey, how are you? Every day that we get on YouTube, here's some people that care, and that's really nice. And if you'd like to check out Netrunner on our store, teamcovenant.com/store, just click the link right here. And if you want to start playing Netrunner, get a hold of us, get the cores. If you want to keep playing Netrunner better, we got subscriptions, data packs, the whole shebang. So join us for the second game coming right up. Click the link, it'll take you right there, and we will see you in just a second.
Peace.